Hello, I'm EG and this is Crocheting with EG, and in this video I'm going to be showing the sweater that I made for my teddy bear, because in one of my other videos I said that I wanted to make myself a sweater sometime, but I didn't want to commit to a big sweater first. I wanted to kind of make a prototype, and so I thought it'd be funny to make one for my teddy bear from when I was growing up, and so I did, and it turned out so nice that I'm going to be making my own sweater eventually. So I'll show the little funny sweater that I made for my teddy bear, and then I do have a couple yarn hauls, just like a small yarn hauls, because like I said, I don't need a whole bunch more yarn, but I did buy some random yarns, and I did a couple other things. I do have a list of notes to keep me focused, because I'm very scatterbrained, and so I needed to keep myself focused. So I will try not to go all over the place. This video is going to be really long, so just settle in and skip through if you need to, but hopefully just don't. Oh, I did get 10 subscribers, which is a big deal. I'm in double digits now. It's a big deal to me to have 10 subscribers, because I was on YouTube for months at a time, the first time I was on YouTube, and only got up to like 6 subscribers and barely got any views or impressions. And so for me to get, I live right by a road, you're going to hear all kinds of traffic going by. For me to get double digits, get 10 subscribers and some views and stuff on my recent videos is a really big deal to me. It may not be a big deal in terms of like comparing myself to other YouTubers, but it's a big deal to me, and so I welcome anybody that wants to like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff, and I welcome the few new subscribers that I've gotten. I wish that it showed me like all your names and stuff so I could call you out, but it just doesn't for some stupid reason. But anyway, so let me get to the teddy bear. So this is my teddy bear, and I'll pause it and put the sweater on it. He's wearing his it could be, I don't know what gender he is. No, to me it was always a boy, but he's wearing the original sweater. It looks like it's knitted, but I'm sure it's like machine knitted or something. I know that it's not hand knitted, but this is what the original sweater looks like. And the reason why I wanted to put a new sweater on it is because I've had this since I was a kid, and so, and I'm 39. I'm gonna be 40 couple months, God, and so this is a really old teddy bear, and the teddy bear itself, it has stayed pretty nice considering how old it is, but the sweater has obviously had a little bit of fray issues, and on the back especially there's some issues. You can see where like my mom tried to like make little knots there to make it to keep it from unraveling, and tried to fix it like here, and so I just wanted to make another sweater for my teddy bear. It has a hat on too. It's like attached to his head. I don't know why it's on, like, cockeyed, to the side or whatever. He must think he's cool. He's probably like how I was when I was a kid. I thought I was so cool, and then he's just a sweet little geeky dorky little thing, but he thinks he's not cute. He thinks he's cool. But anyway, so I'll show the sweater first, and then I'll show the sweater on him. So this is the sweater that I made him, and it actually turned out really nice. I was surprised how nice this turned out. And the YouTuber that I didn't follow like a pattern. There's a YouTuber, and her name is Annabella C, and I come across her video. It's sort of like this video where she says that you can kind of make any sweater, and I come across it a few months ago when I wanted to make myself my own sweater, because there's all kinds of tutorials out there, and she has some tutorials too. But part of me just doesn't want to sit there and follow like a really detailed pattern where there's like every single row is different, or you have to do increases and decreases, because I'm not gonna make a form-fitting sweater, because I'm a big badass, and I don't want to. My clothes are really loose on me. I wear clothes that are probably too big for me, so I don't really need a form-fitting sweater or whatever. I wish I could wear something like that, feel comfortable, but I can't. And so I just needed like a really simple sweater. And so she has this video, and I'll link it in the description, and she just has this really kind of carefree attitude about it. I just love her attitude in that video, where she's just sort of saying, this is the parts of a sweater, and if you know that, then you can kind of make any sweater. She just sort of has this attitude like, just figure it out and make it. And I just loved her attitude in that video, because she just said, there's like the front panel and the back panel and the arms, and as long as you know that there's like pieces of it, and like the way that it's laid out, you can just kind of make it up and figure it out on your own. And so I respond more to that kind of thing, because I'm just not the kind of person to follow like a really detailed pattern. That's why I'm probably not going to get into amigurumi and that kind of stuff. Although I did get some a little Harry Potter crochet kit. I found that at Goodwill last night. I'll show that later on in the video. But anyway, so let me get back to what I was saying. See how scatterbrained I am. So I was following her video, and she just kind of has this, really nice attitude, and I thought, I can do that. I can, think of it as like, okay, there's the front panel, the back panel, and the arms, and then I just need to figure out like what stitch I want to do, what kind of yarn, and just like measure the teddy bear, or measure me, or like whatever, and just kind of, figure it out. Because it's not like I'm making these sweaters to sell or anything. There's no real reason for it to be like perfect or whatever, even though I'm a perfectionist. There's no reason to focus on this being perfect. It's just supposed to be like a sweater. And so and that's the way I guess stumbling my words. That's the way I like to crochet, is where I don't have to think a lot. Because like my brain is just, my thoughts are all over the place. To get jumbled up and stumble on them like I just did. I don't have the capacity to sit here and be really detailed and focus on, okay, this has to be perfect and every single stitch needs to be perfect. I'm not that kind of person, and I like to enjoy crochet, and it's a relaxing thing. And if I have to keep stopping to like look at something and think, okay, now in this row I have to do this, how many this stitches, and then every other stitch I need to increase, and like I can't do that. And so I wanted to go by something like that, like her video was the perfect kind of video for me. And so this is the sweater that I made, and so I knew that I wanted to make like the front panel, and then and then like the back panel too. But then once I got up here, what I wanted to do with my sweater is, like, I've seen people make sweaters where like the head hole is like a square, and then you have to like bring it in and crochet around. But I wanted to actually start from like, once I got the first panel or part of the front panel done, start like here, and then add yarn on either side, and then kind of like decrease down, so like go back and forth here to make the shoulder part, go back and forth here, and then decrease down so that the head hole was more rounded. And so that's what I did with this. I went back into the panel, and then I just made a row, and then and each one I decreased down until I got to the shoulder width. And so that's where how I did that. And then I added the armholes, and I've seen people do ribbing on the actual arm part, I mean the wrist part of the sweater, but I knew that I wasn't going to do that with mine, because I just don't really like that look, the ribbing on the wrist, because it just sort of maybe some of the YouTubers and I mean the tutorials and stuff I've seen make the arms too big, and it just sort of reminds me of like MC Hammer pants or something. I don't like the really tight ribbing there with like really flowy big arms. And so the way I want to do mine is I actually want to make sure to just like decrease down so that I don't have to do a whole lot of ribbing at the wrist for mine. I want to get the arms right on my sweater. So that's what I did with this one. I made like the panel, and then I made the other panel, and then I added the arms, and I just kind of sewed it all together. And I'll as I'm talking, I'll cover me talking. I'll insert little clips, because I do film a lot of like little progress clips of things that I make. So I'll insert. I may have already inserted it in the video, but so I made the sweater part, and then once I sewed it together, then I added the ribbing at the neck. I had to do this a couple times because I knew that I knew how to rib or do the little ribbing or whatever, but I didn't know that you have to slip stitch like 2 stitches together here. And so I was making the neck, because I want to make my turtleneck a little tighter here, and so I made the neck like way too wide, because I didn't do the extra slip stitch there, and so it was just like way too wide. It didn't fit right on my teddy bear, and I knew it wouldn't come in a little, so it wouldn't have that stretch there, because it turned out like this. It was way too floppy, and so I wanted it to kind of like come in so that, because I'm doing this as a prototype for mine, so I wanted it to be a little tighter at the neck. And so I figured it out. I had to pull it out a couple times, and I had to bring in the hole just a little bit there, because it started it was like this big, and then I had to do like a row here where I decreased. I think like I put 3 stitches together or something, decreased there, and then I did just a row around there, and then that's when I added the ribbing. And so I had to do that just a couple times. And then here it's kind of subtle, but I decreased here just a little bit to bring in the armholes. And then at the bottom I did a little bit of ribbing. I didn't want like really thick ribbing down here, like the sweater that he's wearing, like all this. I didn't want like a big bunch of ribbing down there, so I just did like a little short ribbing down here. And the yarn that I used was the Red Heart. Another reason why I wanted to make the sweater, and if I didn't have another reason to use this yarn, I would have used a different yarn. It's a really I like this yarn. I was surprised how it turned out. It actually turned out really nice. But the reason I use this yarn, it's the Red Heart Super Saver, and it's the Icelandic, and it's this is all that's left out of the second skein. I'd gotten the Big Yarn Inspirations order, and this was one of the yarn. I think this was the roughest yarn that I got in that order, because you know Red Heart can be really soft, but it can also be really rough. And so this was one of the rougher yarns, and so I wanted to use one of the rough yarns to make the sweater, so that I had a reason to wash it just to see if it would soften up. And it actually did. I washed this, and there was like a little bit of fuzz on it. It held together really well in spite of me washing it. I washed it on delicate and cold. So but it turned out really nice. It's a lot softer. It's still it's yarn, so it's not like really luxuriously soft, but it's like soft yarn. It's a lot softer than it is in the skein, so that made me feel better about the yarn, although it was so awful to work with. I will insert a video here, and I'll stop talking because I want you to hear the noise. It's so rough and scratchy that it was so hard to work with, because not only could you feel how rough it is, just the sound of it was awful. And so that is what working with the yarn was like. It was a nightmare, but I'm glad that I did, because I know that if you can get through that initial working with really rough yarn and the scratchiness and all that kind of stuff, you can wash it, and then it'll turn out really nice and nice and soft and everything. So I'm glad that I did that. And the thing was, when I was working, I was almost done with this. I was like maybe 3/4 done with it, and I was looking at it, and I thought the blue in this like almost matches this perfectly, the blue on his old sweater. And the story, let me finish that story. And so I was thinking, what would have been really nice is to kind of make a reverse of this sweater, because the blue is so similar to this. What I should have done, and what I should have thought to do, but I was already too far into it to do it, is add a pink in stripes on the front of it, so that it would sort of be the reverse. So like the base of it would be like the blue, except it would be this variegated blue with like some grays and stuff in it. And then it would have like 2 stripes, and the 2 stripes would be like a pink color. What I was going to use when I thought of the idea was this loops and threads that I got in one of my other recent yarn hauls, and it's just called pink. And so I should have like thought to do that, and so it would be kind of cool. And what I plan to do is I want to make a hat and for my teddy bear, because I want to. This is like attached to the teddy bear. I want to like take these off just to preserve them, so that nothing bad ever happens to these, because this teddy bear is really special, not just because it was my teddy bear from my childhood, but because it used to belong to my sister, and my sister died years ago. It's been like almost 20 years since she died, and she gave me this. Used to be hers, but I loved it so much. This was when I was a kid. I loved it so much that she gave it to me, and I kept it, for all these years. And so, that's why I wanted to do something special with this teddy bear of all things. I could have just made like a little sweater for one of my niece's dolls or like something, but I wanted to do something special for this, because my sister was a really creative person, and that's my air conditioner coming on. And she lived her life just constantly creative, doing all kinds of creative things. And there's a lot of creativity in my family, and my sister had a lot of it. And so I think that she would have loved that I did something that not only that I still have this, but that I did something really creative to kind of did something creative for this, and then creative to like preserve the actual sweater and the hat that it's had all these years and stuff. I just think she would love that I did something creative for this, of all things, that I've had it since I was a kid. And I can't remember if I hate that you don't remember things, but I can't remember if she knew years later that I still had that. I'm sure she did, but because she died when I was I can't remember, I was like in my 20s or something, but it's been almost 20 years, but I'm sure that she knew that I still had this teddy bear and everything, but I just think that she would have loved that I did something creative for this teddy bear. But what I'm going to do with this, let me just hang on, let me just put the sweater on, stay focused on one thing at a time. God, I know one of my videos are like 2 hours long. Let me just pause this, hang on. Okay, yeah, I might put a picture of my sister in the video, I'm not really sure, but if I do, then that's what she looks like. She was just a really creative person, and I'm sure that she would love knowing that she didn't crochet, but I remember there was, because she's my stepsister, and we would have to, or I mean my half sister, and she we would have to go pick her up because she would go back and forth between her father's house and our house. And so I remember there was one time when we went to pick her up or drop her off, whichever one, and she was knitting. I knew that she had knitted at one point. I don't know, she never really kept up with it, but I don't think she ever crocheted. But I remember her knitting. But I think that she would love that I did something creative for this teddy bear, and then I still have it after all these years. But this is what the sweater looks like on the teddy bear. It fits the teddy bear perfectly, and like the neck is just like the perfect. Just the perfect little sweat. This is how I want mine to look, although I'm going to make mine a little longer to kind of fold it over, but I want it to be tight at the top, and like that, and because I don't want it to be like really loose down at, or loose. I don't want the neck to be really loose, and then the arms, it just this is how I want the arms to look on me or whatever, and then it kind of fits in. It's like a little bit baggy, but not too baggy, the way that I want mine to be. I had to do the panel twice because, or the first panel, because I got like far into it, but then I thought, because the yarn was a little stiff, like there's I think I took a video of it where the yarn, working with it, not only was it really scratchy and stuff, it was like really stiff to work with. My niece just laughed because I had to watch her over spring break, and I was making the sweater at the time, and I just have something to do, and so to keep myself busy, and so she thought it was hilarious where I kind of set it down on the table, and it stood up like to think of like making something crocheted, and then you could just like sit it on the table, and it just looked like there was an invisible person sitting there, but the sweater wasn't invisible. It was just like sitting straight up. That's how stiff the yarn was, and so because it was like that, I mean, it might have worked out if I had made it extra baggy like that after I washed it. It might have worked out where it wouldn't have looked as stiff, but because it was like that, I was afraid that if I made it, because I wanted to make this is supposed to be a prototype for mine, and I want to make mine really baggy, and so if I had made it for really baggy for my teddy bear, I was afraid that it was just going to be like the teddy bear would be sitting there, and then all of a sudden it would just like sit up like this, like this big thing, and it wouldn't like be form fitting to the teddy bear. It would just be like too like sort of big, and so I had to. I started on the second skein, and then I just ripped all that out of the original skein that I started on, and then just used the yarn from that. So I had to rip all that out, but I just think it turned out really nice for a little sweater, and for my teddy bear, of all things, of all the things that I thought I'd be crocheting, I never thought I'd be making a sweater from my teddy bear. But this is like the last thing that I made during the first year of my crochet journey, and but I will make a hat, and I'm gonna make a little pom-pom. I have one of these things that you can make a pom-pom with, where you wrap the yarn around it, and then you can like trim it, and then it's just like that kind of pom-pom. But what I don't like about these is they don't they're sort of like they're cute and everything, but they're not something that you would put on. Not that I would be washing my teddy bear all the time, but it would be fine for this. But if I want to put a pom pom on anything, I'm not gonna use this, because if you wash it, it's gonna completely deteriorate and fall apart. But I found some videos of how to do that, and I'll talk more about that later. But I do want to make a little pom pom. I think it would be kind of cute to make one that would match the sweater and the hat. 20 minutes. But I'm gonna make a little pom pom for and I don't know how that I'll make the hat. I might just make the hat this color, and I don't want it to not match, whatever. I want to add some pink to it. I was thinking maybe to make the hat in pink, and then oh, another reason why I didn't want to use this pink is because when I was making this sweater, I was wanting to wash it, and I didn't want if I'd used the really soft version of that I found at Walmart. I could have put those two together, but I didn't want to make this scratchy, or make it with this scratchy yarn and then add this really nice pink from Michaels to I didn't want to mix them together, because I wanted to if it was this really soft version of the yarn, it would have worked better, but I just wanted to put it in the washing machine, and so I didn't mix it together. But I don't know what the hat's going to look like for the teddy bear, but I'm going to mix them together or whatever. I don't know. But my friend from she lives in Arizona, and or she used to live here, but she moved to Arizona, and she had this idea to what I should do is take the old sweater, because I made the new sweater, and kind of fold it on itself and make like this like a little pillow for it to kind of turn it into something preserve it, but turn it into something new, and sort of make like a little pillow out of it. But I don't want to mess with it too much, and there are areas where I just don't think it would. Not that I would be playing with it or anything. There's just areas like this that I don't want them to get any worse, and so of course I'm going to keep this, the old sweater, the original sweater. But what I thought I would do is I'm going to make a pillow. That was a good idea that she gave me. What I'll do is I'll make a pillow, and I think what I'll do is actually make it out of these two together, and do what I should have thought to do with the sweater, and do this reverse, where it's going to be this is the base with pink stripes. And so I'm gonna fold this together in the hat too, and make it into the little square, and so I know the size to make, and I'll make a little pouch kind of thing where it's a long thing, and then fold it on itself, and then sew up the sides, and then crochet maybe a little point on the end to kind of fold over, and maybe put a little button on it, and so it'll look like a little pillow from the other side, but then the reverse will have the little part that I can open up, and it'll have the original in it. So use it as stuffing, but not shove it into a pillow and sew it up. I want to still be able to look at it and remember it and stuff. There's another little part here that's messed up on the sleeve. So I just don't want anything to happen to this because it's really special. But so anyway, let me see. Okay, I think that's all about the teddy bear sweater. My niece wants that teddy bear. Of course, she wants everything that I have and everything I make too. But because she was here as I was making it or whatever, and she said, "Oh, I want this teddy bear. And I want this." It's too sentimental to me to give to her or whatever. But and she wanted me to make her a sweater, and I don't know if I will, because I want to make myself a sweater first. But I make her practically everything I've made. I've made her some version of or something because she wants everything that I make. But she wanted my teddy bear too, of all things, but it's too special to me. But making the whole sweater thing gave me the confidence to make my own sweater, and so I will make my own sweater in the future. I don't know if I'm going to make that first, or I want to make something that I could wear now. It's getting hot, and we're only in spring, and I think it's supposed to be in the 80s today, and so we just have really hot summers here too, and so I don't want to make commit to making a big sweater and then have it done and think, oh, it's really great, and then I can't wear it for a couple months. And so I was thinking maybe I could make myself a shirt kind of thing, almost like a mesh shirt. I'd probably make it in black or something, or maybe use some of my yarns that I have those big cakes from Michaels that I got, and that might make a nice sweater or whatever. It's more of darker colors, which would kind of match my personality. But maybe I'll do that. But I kind of want to make like, of course, I'd wear like a shirt underneath it or whatever. But make like something I could wear and that would have like short sleeves. So you just make like the 2 panels and then like add the arms and maybe make it in more of a mesh stitch or whatever, so that it wouldn't be as hot. But I don't know. I want to make myself something I could wear. But if I make a big sweater, you know, it wouldn't take me. It would, you know, wouldn't take me very long. It's not like the length of time. I just would hate to finish it and then not be able to wear it. So anyway, let me get to the yarn hauls. And these are just going to be like completely random things. I did get some of that Vanna white yarn because she has like a very small collection of selection of colors, and it seems like the solids that she has are more like earth tones, which are nice. But I really liked the picture of the Denim Mist where it looks like jeans, and so I wanted to get those, and they had like 2 of them on Amazon. It's like this deal, and so I got those, and it's really nice. It's really soft. It's the Vanna's choice, and then part of the money goes to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. It's just she's mentioned crochet a few times over the years on because I watch Wheel. I know I'm getting older because I'm like watching game shows and stuff like all the time. Like my life revolves around game shows. Sometimes it feels like, you know, I'm out going somewhere and then I'm thinking, okay, I have to hurry up and get home because, you know, the wall is coming on at 8, or like, you know, it's like my life sort of revolves around game shows. So, you know, you're getting old when it does that. And so when you're like, you know, obsessed with Wheel of Fortune or like, you know, stuff like that, you know, you're getting old. And so you know, I feel like, oh, well, I'm still in my 30s, but I'm like, you know, getting home to make sure I watch, you know, 25 words or less, you know, because it's only on, you know, twice today, or like, you know, I'm like, you know, getting involved in game shows. But so I've been watching Wheel of Fortune for, you know, years at this point, and she's been mentioned crochet over the years, and I thought it was kind of neat that she had her own yarn, and then she gives some to charity. And this is such a really pretty yarn. I mean, it really does look like blue jeans. Not the kind of blue jeans I would wear, because it looks kind of like it has the lighter colors in it. But it looks like blue jeans. I mean, this is a really, if you just bought this as a pretty colorway, it's really nice. And it was a 2-pack, so I got 2 of these. You can make a hat out of these, although the yardage is like, it's 145 yards. What I'd be afraid of is it wouldn't have enough to come down. Of course, I'm using what I used for the sweater was half double crochets, I think. If I use like a looser stitch, maybe I don't know, but I just don't know if I would have enough to like go all the way down and have enough to, you know, flip it back up. I mean, like, because the one that I made, this this Pride one with the big twist living, this was like 190 some skein, 190 some yards. No, I have 190 some skeins in there, even more than that. No, 199 yards I think it was, and it was like just enough. And so I'm just thinking, is 145 yards going to be enough to make a hat that, you know, goes down where you can flip it up? So I might just have enough to make a beanie. I'm not really sure. Or I could use 2 skeins and have some left over for something else. But I don't know. I don't know what I'll make out of it. If I make a hat, but I may come up with something else to use this for, because this is really nice. I'm really starting to like this kind of, I think it's anti-pilling, or I don't know if this is anti-pilling, but it reminds you of those little skeins of yarn, because I never really thought to get these, because I thought if I'm going to buy yarn, I want like a really nice big skein of yarn. But I'm really starting to like these smaller, most of these that are like this are like anti-pilling, and they're really soft. Kind of reminds you of the Big Twist Living, or I have some from Hobby Lobby that's little short or small skeins like this that are like really soft and anti-pilling yarn. I'm really starting to like these. There's a lot of pretty colors in these kinds of yarns, it seems. So I'm starting to buy some of those. But so I have 2 of these. I don't know what I'm going to make with these, but I'm glad I bought that, and it's really nice that she has her own yarn, and it's from Lion Brand. No, I didn't do the specs or anything, but I'm not that kind of YouTuber that's going to sit here and talk about it. And the meters are like whatever, 145 yards, 3 ounces, and it's a medium 4-weight. It feels like a medium 4-weight. It's a nice significant yarn or whatever. But just look it up, and she does have other colors and stuff. The kind of brownish ones or whatever, that's not really my kind of look or whatever. And she does have a lot of earth tones if you like those kind of things. But it's a really nice yarn if you want to get it and support St. Jude's and all that. But so I bought that, and then I did buy some of that ice yarn, the rainbow. The YouTuber I saw use this the first time was Nick. Urban Farm Boys, that guy, and I love his crochet videos, and like his crochet and chill videos, and just like I love he's the one of the first YouTubers that I like sat down and watched like a whole video that where he's just like talking about the yarn, and I love those videos, and he does a lot of granny squares, and but he used this yarn, and I couldn't believe how pretty this yarn was, and then I found it was like a little pricey. Consider like compare it to like another yarn, but it was just like it seemed like really pretty. But the thing about this yarn is it just sort of this is what it looks like, of course, but seeing all the videos of people using this on YouTube, I didn't get a sense of like what it felt like, and so what I was going on was what it looked like. It's really shiny and colorful and stuff, but because it was so shiny and so squishy looking when people were touching it, what I imagined this felt like was almost plasticky and like if it was humid out, it would like stick to itself. That's what I imagined it would feel like. I was shocked at how soft this was when it came. I just bought like the 3-pack on Amazon. It's from like a reseller or whatever, because I didn't want to commit to because with like stuff going on and with like all the tariffs and stuff. I didn't know if it was going to affect that shipment, and then also the amount of money from the shipping that you would have. I know that these are really cheap, and then if you take into consideration the shipping and you like divide it out, these aren't as expensive as you think they are. But at the same time, I wanted to get this now for like a video, and I didn't want to commit to like buying a whole bunch of yarn and having it shipped from Turkey or wherever it would be shipped from, and I'm have to wait and all that. So I just thought I'd buy like a small 3 skein pack from a reseller on Amazon. It was like $17 or something. And I wanted to use this yarn, but it was one of those yarns where it was really pretty, and I really had the urge to use it, but I wasn't sure what it would turn out like. And in my head, it just sort of looked like it was kind of plasticky, or that like it had some kind of coating on it, or what, that it would stick to each other or stick to itself. But when it came, I just couldn't believe how soft this was. And my niece was here at the time, and so she wanted to open it first. She didn't know what it was, but and she wanted one, of course. I had to lie and say that one of my friends bought this to have it shipped to me because they wanted me to make something for them. Because like she wants all my yarn, she wants anything I make. She wanted one of these skeins, but like I want to make something with this, and I'm only gonna have 3 of these. So but it's really like shockingly soft. I can't believe it. It does have that. I have dry skin just because I have OCD. I compulsively wash my hands. That's one of the ways it manifests. And I'm hopefully not going to talk about my OCD too much in my videos, but I did in some of my former videos. But I have dry skin, like just from like washing my hands all the time. Plus, we're getting out of winter, and so I have like some dry skin, and it does have that kind of like the halo or whatever on it. Kind of sticks to my hand a little bit. Not as bad as some of the wool that I've felt in Michael's. Like that, like it almost looked like I would touch that yarn and do like this, and it almost would like come with my hand like webbing or something. It was just like awful, that yarn and Michael's that I was touching. It's not as bad as that. It just has like a little bit of like fuzz on it, and it sticks to my hand just a little bit. But otherwise, it's like so. I cannot believe how buttery soft. This is like some of the softest yarn that I've ever felt. I never would have expected it to feel this way. So I did get 3 skeins of it. I don't know what I'm going to make with this. I want to make something really special with this because I only have 3 skeins, and it's the Picasso Rainbow. There's like a rainbow, and there's a rainbow 2. Although I don't know if that's the official name, because it was just a reseller on Amazon. I got the darker rainbow. They have like a really like a neon almost looking rainbow. I got the darker, more neutral kind of rainbow. Not dark like it's. I mean, see, like even on this crappy camera, it looks like it's like the shininess almost looks like you would think it has some kind of like sticky or like glue or plasticky sort of coating on it. It doesn't. It's just the way the base of the yarn is. It's just, I can't believe. You'll be shocked at how soft this is when you get it if you watch the videos. It looks nothing like the way you would think it would, or I mean, it feels nothing the way that you would think it would. feel after looking at it. But I got that to do something special with. And let's see what else. Oh, speaking of that anti-pilling yarn, I did get, when I went to Hobby Lobby the other day, I did get 2 more skeins of that this peacock or whatever, the metallic yarn, because I still have some of that. I finished my hang on, dropping crap. I still have drop my other skein. I have some of that yarn left that I made my what I'm calling this is my glow throw. I'm gonna put some video. I've tried to capture the glow effect of this blanket to try to like show some of my friends or whatever, but it's just kind of hard to capture on camera. But I did finish that throw blanket. This one, see, even on camera it looks green. It's so weird how this is like teal, like this really vibrant teal with some blue in it, yet on the camera it looks green. I mean, it looks like some kind of dark green or something. It's not that color. I know this is a crappy camera, but like, see, like, okay, from far away, it looks kind of dark green. But then as you get closer to it, like, can you see how the blue kind of comes out? It almost looks like that in person, except, you know, from far away it doesn't look green. You can, it looks more teal than green, but it has that kind of effect. It's sort of like if you focus in on it more, see how the blue kind of comes out, and it almost feels like it's glowing. I know it's not glowing, but you know what I'm saying. So I did finish this throw blanket. I had to add to the sides. I did like 5 inches to each side because I think I made it too long to start with. I was just going to make it like a throw blanket size, and then I just made it a little bit too long, so I had to add to the sides. And this is the EG stitch that I came up with, and I know I still need to. I already said that I wanted to make a tutorial of my EG stitch, but part of me, I don't know, I feel kind of selfish feeling this way, but I sort of feel like the TV reference in my head. Like I said, I make all kinds of TV and movie references. But is it like Willow and Tara, that Willow and Tara having that conversation in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, when Willow's telling Tara that she likes that their relationship is just, or that Tara is just hers, because she didn't tell her friends about Tara yet, or she hadn't told her friends about Tara yet, and so she likes that, you know, Tara is just hers, you know, for that period of time. And it's not that she didn't want to tell them, she just loved that, you know, she, like, Tara was, their relationship was just theirs. And it sort of feels like that. It's a weird TV and movie reference to use, but I'm so proud of this stitch, and I love it so much that I want to enjoy it being just mine, you know, for a little bit longer, and then I'll do a tutorial and everything, and you know, show how to do it or whatever. But it's my stitch, and I'm just really proud of it. I just can't believe how it turned out and how nice it is, and I want to keep it for myself just a little bit longer. But I feel really selfish acting or feeling that way. But anyway, so I did get more of that. The blue that, you know, adds the glow effect to the blanket, because I still have some of that big skein, the teal that mixes together with it, and so I want to get some of that blue. But speaking of that anti-pilling yarn, I found some of that at Hobby Lobby, and it's Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek Low Pill Fiber, and this is the colorway Berry Mix, and then this bluer one is called Denim Blues, and like these really pretty skeins. Like, I love this kind of yarn. I'm really loving this kind of yarn. It's you don't get as much yardage for the money that you pay for these smaller skeins, but at the same time it's like such a nicer yarn, and like squishy without being thin, and it's just really soft, and God, this is like some of my favorite yarn. Like, not just Hobby Lobby. I'm talking about like any of these that I've been finding, like the ones I got at Joann, the ones I got at Michael's online, because they don't have it in the store, or they have a couple in the store, but any that I'm finding of this kind of yarn, I'm really liking the feel of it. It's really nice yarn, so I'm getting into that now, I guess. And they are like the perfect amount to make like a hat, and so I'm gonna tons of hats, which Like I said, I look like an idiot wearing hats, but anyway, let me see what else. Oh, no, I know what else. I went to Walmart, and I just wanted to check out their yarn one day, and because I had seen some videos on YouTube of people showing that their yarn, their Walmart was starting to get the bitty stripes in, and like I said, my my Walmart has one half aisle, and they never had the bitty stripes, and so I thought maybe they got it in because all these other stores were starting to get the bitty stripes in. So I went in there and I looked, and there was none on the shelf, and then I thought maybe it's on like the end, and like when you walk into my Walmart, or when you're looking down the aisle from the it's at the back wall, and so there's like the back wall of the store, and then there's like the aisle that comes out from it, and so like on this end, like not the one near the back of the store, on this end, there have been times where there's like some yarn there on the end caps, but for the most part that they don't have that there anymore, but they do have some on the other end, like near the back of the store, and it's usually like the big blanket yarn, like the Bernat blanket yarn kind of stuff. And so I thought maybe I'll look down there, maybe that is gone, maybe they move that out and put the bitty stripes there. And so I looked down there, and it was still the blanket yarn. And then I looked like one aisle over on the end cap, even though it's not the aisle where the yarn is. Like this is such nice yarn. It should not be on the end caps facing the back of the store. Like if you're back there, you could see like the magazines and the very end of like the book aisle, and then like from this direction you can see where the bathroom is, and like where there used to be the service desk or whatever. It's like in the back of the store. That's where the bitty stripes are. It should be on like the front end, like the end caps, like when you're walking, to the, through the main part of the store. They're just kind of like tucked in the back, and not even on the end of the yarn aisle. It's on the end of the like craft aisle. So it's stupid. This yarn is so nice. It should be displayed properly. But anyway, so they had 5 different kinds at my Walmart, and some of them I had and some I didn't. There was one that I didn't buy. It wasn't, I couldn't even, it was like, I can't remember the colorway, but it was like this cream color and had like some brown in it, whatever that bitty stripes is. It wasn't very good. I didn't want to get that one. They did have this one that is it's sort of like a pastel thing, a Rainbow Mist. Like I said, I'm not really crazy about pastels, and I'm not particularly crazy about this, but my friend, I'm going all over the place, but she actually went to her Joann and got me some yarn there. So I wanted to like get some yarn. I got this skein because I thought, because she had sent me a message saying that she found me some yarn at Joann where she lives, and so I thought, and she said that they had some really pretty pastel yarn, and so I thought, oh, I never really thought that she liked pastel colors, but I guess she likes pastel colors. So when I saw this, if she hadn't said that about the pastels, I probably wouldn't have gotten this, because I'm just not crazy about pastel colors. This is nice if you like pastels, but I'm just not really that into it. I like really vibrant colors, like the crayon box. 20 minutes, hang on. But because my friend said that she had got me some yarn, I thought maybe I could get this, knowing that she likes pastels, in case she ever wants me to make her something out of pastel yarn. And so I did get that, and it's nice, and I wanted to show that my store did get that. So I got this one, and then they had I think it was Rainbow, that one that it has like some. There's a lot of, like, the primary color in that seems to be like this sort of mustard yellow in the Rainbow, and they had that, so I didn't get another one of those because I knew I had one of those. And they did have the pink lemonade. This is really pretty. I wish they would have had the few that I want to get are the Love Bug, which is like this really nice red color. I don't have that one yet, and then the Grapey and Unicorn Mane. Unicorn Mane looks really pretty. Like the Unicorn Mane and Love Bug are the 2 that I really want. And then the Grapey looks kind of pretty too. And this is the other one that I wanted to get sometime. And they actually had this one, and I'm glad that they did, because this is really pretty. When I opened my box and saw that one Sweetie. I think I even said in my video that it kind of reminds you of like Pink Lemonade or like, you know, summery thing. I didn't really realize that they had one that was called Pink Lemonade. That one looks more like Pink Lemonade than this does, but this is a really pretty colorway. And so I got one of these, and I was glad that they had that. And then they had the crayon box, and of course they should have that in the stores because that's the prettiest one. And so even though I had one in my Yarn Inspirations order that I got, and then I did the video about, I wanted to get another one because it's just such a pretty color. Like I don't know what I'm going to use this for, but I want to make something really nice with this crayon box because it's really pretty yarn. And so I went ahead and got one of those, and I'm glad that I did because when I got the one from Yarn Inspirations, I got it in that big order. It's in one of my other videos. I was really happy with it. This is the one that I got, and I loved it. It's really pretty in person, and I love this yarn. But then when I got the one from Walmart and got home and compared it, because I was thinking, okay, now I have like two, so I wanted to put them together. I thought, what the heck? It's not the same. And this isn't like just a dye-lot issue. This is like, this is the one I got at Walmart. This is so much nicer than this one is. Not like texture-wise, they're the same. They're really nice and soft. But I thought this was nice when I saw it in person. Compare it to this, like I love the speckleness. I'm trying to make up a word. Speckleness of it. I was going to say speckliness. How stupid. I love the speckled look of it with like the little white areas and stuff. And there's like all these vibrant colors, and there's like all these little white speckles through it. Like, this is really nice. This is probably how the yarn is supposed to look. And so when I got this, I thought, oh, this is really pretty. I thought this is what mine looked like at home. But then when I compared it, I thought all the white in this is kind of, it looks like the color bled onto it in this one. Like, see how how different the skein is, or the skeins are? Like, this is the new one from Walmart, and then this is the one I got directly from Yarn Inspirations. See, it doesn't have as much as the white speckle, and even the color isn't as vibrant. So, yeah, if I wouldn't have seen this, I would have been perfectly happy with this. This is really nice. But now that I see what it's supposed to look like, or what it looks like in this style lot, I'm thinking this just sort of looks dullish compared, and so like if I want to make something with these two skeins, I'm gonna have to like alternate between the two, like use, you know, a couple rows of this and a couple rows of this and a couple rows of this, a couple rows of this, instead of like just mixing them together. I hate that whole dye lot issue with yarn. It's so frustrating. But I'm glad I got another one, especially because it looks so much nicer than the one I got from Yarn Inspirations. I mean, this is from Yarn Inspirations too, but like this is the one that ended up in my Walmart. But I don't know. Okay, quick edit. Since I'm talking about dye lots anyway, I thought I'd add this here. It's a follow-up to my Joann haul video, and I was showing the Big Twist Living, the Serenity, the By Pride flag, and how different the skeins are. And when I said that this, the purple in this looks almost blue because it's so dark and vibrant, it's supposed to be blue. So you would think I would know, but it's kind of hard to keep, because there's so many pride flags and stuff. It's kind of hard to keep track of which one's which and which one has this color and the sequence and stuff, and it's hard to keep track. And so I mistakenly thought that this was supposed to be purple, just because the blue in this looks more purple. Like, if you compare the two, the blue looks more purple. Like, on its own, the blue looks like blue, like just a lighter blue. But when you compare the two, it almost looks like more purple than blue. But so I just mistakenly said that this was, I thought this was supposed to be purple, but it's supposed to be blue. So this is what it's supposed to look like, and then this is just a little bit faded. It just sort of feels like that Red Heart Super Saver kind of thing, where just they look like completely separate yarns. But anyway, back to the video. So that was that lot from the haul from Walmart. Hang on, there's more. And then I went to Hobby Lobby the other day, and they had some yarn in my Hobby Lobby. There's the few aisles of yarn, and then like right next to it is where all the fabric is. And so they have clearance sections in a couple parts of the store, and but over there where the fabric is, there's like a small clearance section, and usually what ends up there are like the remnants of fabric. Like they had the other day, or yesterday, this leather that it looks black on camera. It's but brown. I had bought some of this before. This was only $1.99, and it's like a full yard, 54 inches. So that's usually what is over there. Is like the fabric remnants. But they've had some yarn over there, and so. I was looking over there. I kind of glanced over there now that I know that they sometimes put yarn over there, and when I was walking through the fabric, they had a cart sitting there that had some yarn in it, and it was just sort of like this random cart that was sitting there with yarn, and it didn't have any price stickers or anything on it. It didn't have any clearance stickers or anything. It was just kind of like a cart of yarn, and I sort of felt like they're gonna discount that yarn, and so I kept going back like every day, and then I told my mom that it'll be my luck that it was just some idiot that like bought or was gonna get some yarn and just left their cart there, and I'm going there like every single day and thinking that they're gonna discount it, and it was just some idiot that left some yarn sitting in a cart, but. Luckily, I did that because I eventually went yesterday, and they had discounted that yarn. Unfortunately, it wasn't all there. There were 2 more skeins that were kind of like the thicker. Like the kind of yarn, like the soft yarn, sort of like the Bernat blanket looking yarn, or like that kind of chenille yarn that looks like the kind of yarn that people use for amigurumi. And I was going to get that anyway because my niece she's getting into crochet. She's really liking that thicker yarn. She has the urge to do amigurumi, but like I told her, I don't have the patience for amigurumi. So if she wants to learn how to do amigurumi, she's gonna have to watch a YouTube video or something to learn how to do it. But so she, I did buy her some yarn from Michael's and a couple skeins from Hobby Lobby. That's when I noticed the yarn that was sitting there in that cart. I was looking for her some of that soft yarn. And but there were 2 skeins that weren't in the. I guess if they discounted them, somebody already bought them. And then there was a skein of I Love This Cotton. It was a pretty color, but I was going to get it anyway to force myself to try to use some more cotton. And but that was gone too, so somebody obviously bought that. But I went like 4 or 5 times before, and then there was the weekend, and then I went Monday in the afternoon, and then they had most of that yarn discounted. It was just those 2 big skeins of like the kind of amigurumi yarn, and then that small skein of cotton that was gone. All the rest of it was still there, so I went ahead and bought it. It's like I love this yarn, and this color is probably gonna. I don't know if it's gonna be discontinued or not. Some of these yarns are still on the shelves. Like I went over there and looked, and they don't have discount stickers on them, so I don't know why, or clearance stickers. So I don't know why they end up there, because they seem to be okay. But this is called Stonewash, and I thought I had this blue. I have a blue that's very similar to this for one of my bookmarks that I make, and. Sorry, it's just traffic or people across the street or something. But this is stone. Let me just edit this out. Okay, God. I have a blue that's like this for a bookmark that I make. But I got it. It's a really nice blue. And then they had, and these were only $1.24. $1.24 for this one, and this one was $1.24. This is called Dark Denim. I love this color. It's like, it's really dark, but it's blue instead of black. It's a really, I don't know if it comes off on camera. It looks a little dark gray on camera, but it's like a bluish color, like a dark denim. And maybe this ended up over there just because of this or something, or there's like 2 strands here sticking. I don't know if one of these must be the center pull and one must be the, oh, wait. I was pulling that on the outside. Oh, okay. So this must be the outside pull. I mean the outside strand. End. Outside in. Okay. Went through the whole skein. And then that must be the center pull. But whatever. So that ended up there because of that for some reason. I don't know. Or for whatever reason. $1.24. And then they had 2 more of that Soft Secret from Yarn Bee. They're not the colors that they had before that I had bought. This is blue teal. This is a really pretty color. This one was $1.24 too, and then this one is called Chili Red. It's not the same red that I had gotten before. This is like, the only thing that was like off about this one is that there was some of the yarn that had been pulled out. Like that's all. So I don't know, and they still have this on the shelf. So I don't know why this was over there. Just because of that, like the workers can't just like tuck it in. I don't know. And these were only $1.24 too. And like I said, these are like softer yarns, and I don't really know if they'll be hard to work with or not, but they're so pretty. I couldn't resist getting them because I feel like the other ones will make something really good for Christmas, and this just feels like even these two would go together to make something. And then they had some of this Yarn Bee Sweet Delight Chunky Pinkaboo, that's the color, and they still have this on the shelf too. So like, there's nothing wrong with this. I don't get why these are ending up in the clearance section, but you know, I'm not complaining about it because it's, you know, a good deal. $1.37 for this one, and then they had this skein, and it's Yarn Bee For the Moment, F-U-R, For the Moment, Frosted Mauve, and this is $1.62, I guess, because it's like the hairy furry yarn. This is $6.49. I feel bad because the woman that was working in the register, she said she actually engaged in conversation. She seemed like a really cool kind of person. Sometimes the people that are working in Hobby Lobby don't really engage in any kind of conversation about like the yarn or whatever, and not like the people at Joann's or Joann or Michael's do. But she seemed like really interested, and she said, is this hard to work with? And I felt bad because I sort of lied and said that that it is, and or I mean that it's not hard to work with. Wait a minute. Oh, God. Maybe this is why I ended up there. No, it has a knot like right on the outside of it. I can feel it. God, I hate knots. It's such a pet peeve of mine. But she asked if it was hard to work with. Oh wait, is there another knot? Oh no, it's the same one. That's why I was an idiot. I was like, is that another? No, it's the same one. When I go to in my head is like the TV movie references. I think about the episode of Friends where Phoebe said, oh, she found that the earring or whatever, and Rachel said that's the same one or whatever. You know what I'm talking about if you know Friends. But anyway, let me get back to what I was saying about the yarn. She was saying, is this hard to work with? And I don't really know because I've never really worked with this yarn before. But I just got stumbling my words, and I'm not really a very social person. I don't like to talk to people in public. But she asked that, and I said, what I knew of this kind of yarn, watching YouTube videos, is that it's usually not hard to work with. Because she said, "Oh, I think it would like keep slipping off the hook or something." And I said, "No, what would be hard to? What's hard about working with this yarn is like I didn't. It wasn't from personal experience. It was from a YouTube video I've seen where they were saying what's hard about using this yarn is just the lack of stitch definition. So you don't really know it's hard to see the stitches, you know, where to go in. But you know, it doesn't, you know, come off your hook. I'm sure it comes off easier than like a regular acrylic yarn. But I think what the hardest thing about working with this is based on a YouTube video, not from my personal experience, would be just like, you know, doing a stitch and then having to go back and you'd have to like feel for the stitches instead of being able to see them properly. But I went ahead and bought this, and because I was thinking about the like pom-poms, like, you know, speaking of my teddy bear hat, I was thinking about pom-poms, and I know that you could probably crochet pom-poms with this yarn. I thought maybe I could try to turn this into. I didn't see any YouTube videos of how to make a pom-pom, but I know that you can. I think it was Crochet Vision or something that I heard her reference that she. I think it was when I started watching her channel when she was talking about the Joann liquidation and all that, and she was saying that she was going there to get some fur yarn for her pom-poms, and so I knew that like you can make them out of fur yarn, but I've never seen a tutorial on how to do that. But I was thinking maybe I could try to turn this into some pom-poms or whatever. Because like I went to Michael's the other day, and I was just kind of walking through, and I saw some pom-poms hanging there. There was like one. They might have had some cheaper ones, but they had like one hanging there, and it was like $5.99 for one. I thought, how ridiculous! How I didn't know pom-poms were so expensive. And so when I got this yarn, I was thinking maybe I can like turn it into a pom-pom. I don't know how to do it. But then when I thought about Crochet Vision talking about using the fur fabric, I thought, you know, I could probably do that with it. And then thinking about that, when I was over there getting this yarn, there was I was like digging through the remnants, and there was a piece of that. A piece of fabric that was fur fabric, and I'm going to go back this afternoon to get it if it's still there, unless it's like a ridiculous price. I don't know how expensive that yarn is originally, but I might get that. Okay, quick edit. I went back to Hobby Lobby and they had the fur fabric remnant left, and it's 45 inches by 20 inches, and it was only $6. So the price of one pom-pom at Michael's is, I got all this to make some pom-poms. So I'm glad they had that. And while I was there, they had some of this, and it's like crochet thread. Come on, focus. It's the Yarn Bejeweled sequin, and they had the silver and they had the gold, and I thought it would be kind of cool to use this to crochet with the yarn. And so I used that Red Heart Super Saver, the Icelandic that I used for the sweater, and I crocheted with the silver strand in it. And it's really cool how and it was really easy too. I was surprised how easy it was to crochet with the yarn and the thread at the same time, so that's really cool. And also, while I was at Hobby Lobby, I got a button for the little pillow that I'm going to make for my teddy bear. And this is important for a few reasons. It kind of matches me and my sister and my friend too. So I'll explain that whenever I make that in the future. But that's the little button I got. But I looked it up when I got home, and I can't believe how easy it is to make a pom-pom. You basically just, you know, do the magic ring, and then you do a couple rounds, and you make like a circle, and then you just, like, you know, go in and out on the outside, and like cinch it with some stuffing in the middle of it, or, you know, old yarn or whatever, or, you know, like the scraps of yarn, and that's how you basically cut out a circle of the fabric, and then you just, you know, weave you know, some yarn or thread or whatever in and out, and then you just, like, you know, cinch it up like you do a hat. And so with like some stuffing in the middle of it. And so I can't believe how easy it is to make a pom-pom. I never really thought about it. I know you can make them with these, but these just aren't very reliable. The way that it's just it's not held together very well. You can just, like, basically pull the pieces of yarn out once you cut it and make a pom-pom out of it. So so I know you can make them that way, but I wanted to make, if I was going to make a pom-pom for the my hats, which I'll talk about in a second, I wanted to make one that I wouldn't fall apart. And so those are the skeins of yarn that I got yesterday at Hobby Lobby. Speaking of the yarn, I mean the hats, I did, this was the other day, like a couple weeks ago. Oh, no, it wasn't a couple weeks ago. Well, like a week or two ago. I went ahead, I went to Hobby Lobby, and I got some head of styrofoam, and because I wanted to have them for my website when I get it online and start to sell my crochet. I wanted to have like those styrofoam heads, and so they had them at Hobby Lobby. I think these were like $5 or $6 or something. And so this is what the man looks like with my the Big Twist Living inclusivity hat that I made on it. I'm not going to sell this. I just put it on the head to show it. And then this. I'll show this too. This is the woman, and this is I had some of that yarn left, of course. So I'm the one that I made my glow throw out of. So I made a hat out of that stitch, and this is what it looks like. And of course it looks green on the camera, but it's like a tealish blue, and then I add like the strip of black. And so it's like it's a little airier than the what's your name? I like I'm talking to it. No, like I'm touching his head, like, you know, tell me what it is. Like an idiot. But the inclusivity one, of course, it's a little airier because of the stitch that's the different stitches that I use. But I just think it looks really nice. The hat, and I'll sell these too. And so I did buy the styrofoam heads. Wish I could buy one of those. What are they called? Those things that Mama uses, or Mama's family uses, TV wrappers. Those things that, like, the body part, where I can, like, wrap my scarves or like anything wearable that I can make on them. But I don't need that. I could just, like, take a picture of them. But I did want to buy the styrofoam heads, not just to, like, display them for a picture, the hats for a picture, but I wanted to have like a female head to check the size to make sure that it would fit. Of course, everybody's head's different size. Like even my baseball hat that I wear, or it's just like a black hat, but it's like one of those caps. I had to buy like an oversized one because I have such a big head. And so everybody's head's different. But I wanted to have like the woman one so that I could have like another one to, because I know that, you know, women's heads are usually smaller, and so I wanted to make have one to make sure the fit was right for the ones that, because this looks like one for a woman, like the hat. Not that a man couldn't wear this if you wanted to, but just like the sparkle. Why am I like making up words today? The sparkliness of it, and the the little stitches and stuff. But anyway, and what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I was gonna say reference the whole amigurumi thing, because like when I was making my sweater, I'm not into like where I have to follow a very specific pattern, and like when I crochet, I just want to relax with it and not have to think about it too much. And so that's why I never really have the urge to make a lot of amigurumi. They're adorable, they're cute and everything, but I just don't have the urge to make those, you know, little things. And my niece wants to make those because she's a little kid and everything, and she sees all those. She's been to those craft fairs and stuff, and she has some of the amigurumi that she's bought from vendors and stuff. And if you're into that stuff, that's, you know, great. And they are adorable little things. I just don't have the patience to sit there and make those little things and you know, use the safety eyes, and like I don't see myself making a lot of amigurumi. And so if that's why you're watching my channel, because you think I'm going to make some amigurumi, I'm not that kind of crocheter. I'm like a more traditional crocheter, and I'll make a lot of creative things. I've made a mug cozy or koozie or whatever you call it, that is 10th Kingdom related, and I made some little things, these little flat things for it, and I can be creative with my crochet, but I'm just not. I don't have the desire to make amigurumi at this point, and so I don't know if I ever will. Although I was tempted because I bought this at Goodwill. They had the Harry Potter crochet kit where you can make little. It has a book that has the patterns to make some amigurumi of the little Harry Potter characters. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, and I got they have these like little tiny twisted hanks of yarn or whatever you call it in here. It's really cool, but it was only $3.99 at Goodwill, and it's been used, but I think most of the safety eyes and all that are still shrink wrapped, and I think somebody just probably like opened the yarn and just, you know, gave up or whatever. I don't know, but I went ahead and bought it. It was only $4, and it'll go with my Harry Potter collection. I don't know if I'll ever use this. I might. Like, if I'm going to make amigurumi, it would probably be this. I may do it with this, but even this, I don't know if I will. I got it as this sort of novelty thing to go with my collection, and it only being $4. I've seen this in Walmart for, you know, much more expensive than that. And like even on top of the Marshall sticker says $11.99. I wouldn't have bought it for $11.99. And then the suggested retail price is $24.99. I wouldn't have bought it for either of those prices, but I thought $3.99, $4. I'll get it for my Harry Potter collection because it's kind of you know, crochet related, and so, you know, it's kind of cool. But I just don't know if I ever would do it. You have to use like a 3.25 crochet hook or 3.5 or whatever it is, like a little tiny crochet hook. I don't know. Maybe I'll challenge myself sometime and make these. I have no idea, but there's not enough yarn to do all the characters or whatever. You have to buy your own yarn for all the characters, but you can do all kinds of the characters from Harry Potter. It's really neat, but it's just sort of like this novelty thing, and I'm just not really into, like, you know, amigurumi kind of thing. And I can't remember how I was going to talk about this, but it'll come to me as I'm editing it or whatever. Okay. So, one of the things I don't like about the amigurumi is how you have to go every single row, and you have to count your stitches, you know, every single row, and sometimes you do increases and decreases on, but you have to like know every single stitch in every single row, because, you know, otherwise it won't turn out right. And it just reminds me, like, when I first started to crochet, you know, or a year ago, a couple months into it, I wanted to make like one of those tapestry crochets or tapestry things, and what I started with first was my own stuff, and they actually turned out really nice, but it was so they turned out really nice, but at the same time, just having to know what every single stitch was, and having to change colors with every single stitch, or not every single stitch, but like having to change colors every couple stitches, and then dealing with all those bobbins and like all, it was just, I'm not looking forward to doing something like that with like the amigurumi. And so while I love the few things that I made, with the tapestry crochet. I'm not looking forward to doing anything like this in the future. I may, but I'm just saying. The first thing I did was I'm a huge Wizard of Oz fan, and I wanted to make a bookmark for because I was making bookmarks when I was making bookmarks when I'm from the South, so my accent comes out sometimes, obviously, and I was making some bookmarks. So I wanted to make some I wanted to make a Wizard of Oz bookmark, and because I thought it'd be kind of cool to make a bookmark that looked like the yellow brick, or sort of allude to the yellow brick road, and then at the end kind of bring it to a point and have it sort of be like an allusion to the Emerald City, and then have like on the actual yellow brick road have 2 ruby slippers. This is just supposed to allude to it. It's not supposed to be exact, but I wanted to do that. And so the first, so I went into, because I'm a graphic designer too, and so I went into my graphics program and I made like one of those grids, and then I just tapped it and filled in the colors and tried to figure out like how it would look with the like a pixelated version, because it looks like a really pixelated thing, that the graphs that you use to make that tapestry crochet, and I made it look like 2 ruby slippers on the way to on the yellow brick road on the way to the Emerald City. And so this is the first one I made. I used half double crochet, and so it was a little looser than I liked, and so this one didn't turn out that well, just because of how loose it was. And I used some cheap yarn from Hobby Lobby, those little maker things, or the little cheap ones that are like less than $1 on their discount week. But this is the first one that I came up with, or first one that I made. And so it has like this is supposed to be like the Emerald City, and then the yellow brick road, and then the ruby slippers. And so I used some red sparkle yarn for the ruby slippers, and then some blue for supposed to be her socks. And so this is like the bookmark, and so I have it in my Wizard of Oz book. And so this is like the first attempt at it, because I tried to do it with single crochet and it was just like too difficult for me to do. And so, but then I eventually did it, and I doubled up that yarn, because that yarn from Yarn Bee, that little small skeins, it's just like a really thin yarn, and so I doubled it up, and it made it much better and much easier to do. The red sparkle is Red Heart Super Saver. I forget what it's called. It's like the red metallic. And then all the rest of it is I'm just telling you all my words today. Like everyday. All the rest of it is that Yarn Bee whatever skeins. And so this is the better version of it. And it's more. It's better than the other one that's more loose. And so this is like what I wanted it to look like originally. So it has like the ruby slippers, and her blue socks, on the yellow brick road on the way to the Emerald City. And so this is really cool, but at the same time having to like go back and forth and then count every single stitch and think, okay, it's stitch number 7, so number 8 is where I have to change to the red, so I don't finish that stitch, so I need to pull the red in for that one, and then but that only do 2 stitches of that, and then I have to change to the blue. Like that kind of stuff is really, it turns out really nice. It's worth the effort, but at the same time it's just, I don't want to do that constantly, and I just feel like that would be what I would have to do if I did amigurumi. I know it becomes easier the more you do it, and you memorize patterns, and like some of these crocheters, they're like doing amigurumi, they're not just like talking, they're not even looking at their hands. I know that it can become kind of like this really simple thing for if you are into that kind of thing, but I'm just not really interested in doing that, just because of how difficult that was, and that was just a bookmark. By the way, did you see what they did to the Wizard of Oz on that sphere, the thing? I don't like how they're changing things with that. It's cool that they're having the Wizard of Oz at the sphere. I've never been there. I've never been to Vegas, but I don't like that they changed the look of the Emerald City, and they changed the look of the wizard. I don't like that. Because I'm a huge Wizard of Oz fan, more of the ruby slippers than anything, but I'm a huge Wizard of Oz fan. I don't like, it's cool what they're doing with that, but I don't like how they changed things. That's just not, I don't like that. But anyway, and this is my logo tapestry, and my professional name is I'm EG, but like my website is justeg.com, because it's like, it's this whole branding thing, and so I came up with this logo, and you'll see it in my little icon thing, and it's on my website. It's my logo is my mask that I want to wear in my videos. It has like glitter on it. It's like my logo. So this is like the EG logo, and I made a tapestry out of it. It's turned out so nice, but at the same time, it took so much like mental work to do this, and I had so many bobbins to deal with. What was easier to do with this is I had a little table in front of me, and I would do a row, and then instead of trying to turn my crochet and like have to deal with all those bobbins, because there was, you know, 8 or 10 or whatever, however many it was, I just turned my table, and like what I did was I flipped my crochet forward and like turn my table, so that like I never had to move my bobbins. They were all, you know, in the right order, without having to like physically move my bobbins. I just moved my table and it flipped them around, and so that seemed to help with the whole tapestry thing. But what I did was I just, you know, took my logo and I tried to, you know, replicate it in sort of a grid format. Luckily my logo is squared off. It would be more difficult to do if my logo wasn't so squared, didn't have like, you know, square lines. But see, like the E and the G, and it almost looks like a window that's open a little bit down here, and it's this whole branding thing. But I'm not going to get into it right now. But I made this, and it was just a lot of work. You can tell, like, when I first started off, you know, I didn't have much of a concept of, like, you know, carrying the yarn through and all that kind of stuff. So the back down here looks kind of bad, but like up here it looks better. But still, it's just like this tapestry crochet looks good on one side, and so this is like what my logo looks like, and it's good. I'm really happy with this, but like the amount of work and effort and the counting and all that, and having to change colors, you know, just a couple stitches after you just did it on the other side. I'm just not looking forward to stuff like this. I want crochet to be a really relaxing thing, and even though you can follow patterns and create really cool things like this or really cool things like that, Harry Potter, amigurumi, that's just not me as a crocheter. So I'm sorry if you're into that and you're hoping to see, oh, I want to you know, watch his video so I can learn a new pattern for another little thing that I can sell at I'm not into amigurumi, so I don't know. I'm sorry if that's, you know, what you're into, and that's what you're looking for, but that's just not me. Hang on. And I guess the only other thing I'll talk about is Joann closing. And what sucks is over the weekend I was gonna I had the urge to go to Joann like one more time, even though I didn't need any yarn. I wasn't even expecting to get any yarn. I was just gonna go there just to go like one more time before they closed. And then because I had to watch my niece during spring break, and it just, you know, tires me out every time. I slept in that Saturday. And it was sort of too late to, because my Joann is not even really local. It's like 30 minutes away. So and I don't want to get up at like, you know, 2 or 3 in the afternoon and then have to drive there and then, you know, drive back when it's getting dark. And so I didn't get to go to Joann. I thought, well, maybe I can go this coming weekend. But then come to find out last night, or like this morning in the middle of the night, I found out that my Joann closed. Like that Saturday that I was going to go was the last day, and so I missed out on going back to Joann. So that kind of sucked. Some of the people on the internet were saying that it was like basically empty, so they didn't have much there anyway. But I still would have liked to go just one more time, just to, you know, just to go, because I loved going into Joann, but so I missed out going in one more time. I was going to wear my crochet shirt again, and my mom was going to go and she's going to wear her crochet shirt, and I was going to do this thing where that keychain that I have with the crochet hooks on it, I thought it'd be kind of neat to wear it on a necklace around my neck. And what I thought I would have done was make a necklace out of stitch markers, like, you know, the little they kind of look like safety pins, and like, you know, put them all together in like a necklace and have that the crochet hooks hanging off of it. I thought that would have been kind of a fun thing to do in Joann for the last time, but you know, it's not going to happen. But sucks that they closed. But there's still other reasons to go to the town that my Joann is in. But you know, it sucks that it's going to suck, like going in that shopping center and then, you know, there's going to be Joann, it's going to be closed, or the sign's going to be gone, and it just, you know, it sucks. But anyway, so talking about Joann, my friend in Arizona, she did find me 2 more skeins of that inclusivity. I asked her if she could check her Joann if she had one, and I guess she had one that's just like right down the road from her, not very far. And she did go in there and she checked, and they had 2 of them, and so she's gonna send them to me in a package sometime. And so I am gonna have 2 more skeins of that in my stash. I'm probably gonna make 2 hats out of them, and so that I'll sell those on my website in the future. But there's no rush on her part. It's not going to be anytime soon, because I told her there's no rush on her part. To we take our time sending packages together to each other. We you know, find little things throughout the year or whatever, and you know, send each other a package. And so she's just going to think of the skeins of yarn as like, you know, packing material to help pad out the package or whatever. And so she's going to send it whenever she sends me a package. But I'm not going to have it done by Pride or anything probably. So but in the future I'll have 2 of those hats, you know, similar to the one that I made that's on the guy head, whatever, and I'll sell those on my website if you want one of those. But and the whole Hirschner's thing that they saved a big twist. I just saw a stream last night where they were talking to somebody from Hirschner's, and we still don't know what kind of yarn that Hirschner's is gonna sell. I mean, they're going to sell the Big Twist, but we don't know what lines of Big Twist that they're going to sell. So I don't know if they're going to say Big Twist Living. I guess it just depends on that they have some kind of connection with the mill that that produces the Big Twist value, and some other lines of the yarn. So we don't really know at this point what is going to be saved, and I'm hoping that the Big Twist Living is going to be saved, especially the Pride colors and stuff, because I don't like the way the color changes are, but they actually turns out really nice. If you depending on what you make with it, like if you make this hat, I mean God, I got caught on my my chair arm because I wear like really baggy clothes, and I got caught on it turns out really nice as the hat, and so I hope that they save this yarn, the mill that they're connected to, and they're going to get the yarn from and sell. That it's going to be the one that makes the living too, and some of the other lines that people like. I'd love to have some of that Vortex. I regretted not buying that you know, months ago, and the Rave is kind of pretty too. Although, is that the roving yarn or something? I don't know if I like that or not, but it's a really pretty yarn. But I don't know, but it's good. I've never bought anything from Hirschner's before, but so all this is kind of like introduced me to Hirschner's, even though I think Hirschner's has probably been out since before any of these other brands and all these other craft stores. But I never heard of it before. But anyway, I'm gonna look into that. I almost bought some of their yarn the other day, but I love that their brands of yarn, they have those. I knew that there was some brand out there that put a little piece of like a little label on the center pull, but I couldn't remember what store that was or what brand that was, and then when I was looking into the Hirschner's thing, they have some really cool neon yarn. I love that yarn. They're the ones that have the little tab that you can pull that has the center pull on it. I think that's so cool how they did that. But I've never bought anything from Hirschner's, but I almost did the other day, but I thought I have so much yarn. I don't really need to buy any more yarn right now. But that's going to be in the future. When they get the Big Twist in, and if they have the Big Twist Living, then I'll buy some of their yarn and with the Big Twist Living. Because I was going to buy some of that neon yarn. I was going to buy they actually have the biddy stripes. It was on back order though. I was going to buy those few biddy stripes that I don't have from them, even though you can get them directly from Your Inspirations, but they sell Red Heart too at Hirschner's. But so that's what I was going to order the other day, but I kind of hesitated, and then I thought I'll buy it whenever the Big Twist comes in, if they have the living colors, but whatever. So anyway, I guess that's enough for now. I will do another video. I don't know if it's going to be my next video or whatever. It's good because it's going to be a really long one. I don't want to split it up, but at the same time, the way I talk, this video alone is probably going to be like 2 hours long. If I'm sitting here talking about every single thing that I've crocheted over a year, the video is going to be like hours long. It's probably going to take a week to upload. Does it take you as long to upload your videos if you're somebody that puts videos on YouTube? It takes me like 24 hours just to upload a 2-hour video. It's just ridiculous, and they're not even that good quality. It's not like my videos are like 4K or anything. I just can't believe how long it takes to upload a video to YouTube. It's just a nightmare. And so if I make a video, I would hate to split it up into multiple videos and stuff. I'd rather it just be like one video, but you know how I talk. I could probably sit here and talk 5 minutes about one bookmark that I did, and I have like, you know, tons of bookmarks and tons of other things that I've crocheted. To think of like trying to make a video that is like 2 hours long at the most, or two or 3 hours. I've made videos in the past of the length of a Lord of the Rings movie, and it just takes forever to upload. I can't imagine me doing one where I talk about everything I've crocheted in a year and it being, you know, only a couple hours. I just feel like it's going to be the way I talk and have all kinds of filler words. I know if I cut out all my filler words, my videos would probably be like shorts. So I don't know. I know I use a lot of filler words. It's irritating. Try living like this. I know if it's irritating to you, imagine how irritating it is being this person that uses the filler words in the first place. But anyway, I don't know, but I'm going to be making a big video. If not, that'll be coming in the future, along with some other videos too, and all that, and other things, not just my crochet stuff. There, like if you go to my website network, it's not online yet. It's just a landing page. You know, justeg.com. There's going to be all kinds of like little mini sites and stuff, and it's this whole like nostalgic experience, and it's like a network, like a website network, and there's going to be products on there, and there's going to be like designs on things on Zazzle, and there's going to be some of my books and short stories, and there's just going to be all kinds of things and little fun things too. Not just like stuff for you to buy. I'll have my crochet on there too. Whether it's like a link to Etsy or a link to my Shopify or like whatever, I'll have stuff on there you can buy. And but anyway, and I'll have all kinds of fun things. And I do have a lot of interest in like physical media and like fandom stuff and all kinds of different art mediums. Crochet isn't the only thing that I do. I do a lot of other artistic things. And graphic design and like physical thing. I do a lot of things with moldable plastic and all that's going to be on my web. See, I talk so much that I just realized that I missed the 20-minute mark, and so like God knows what I was saying in the middle of missing the 20-minute mark. That's another thing I hate about this camera, is that after the 20 minutes the file changes and then I lose a couple seconds. Who knows what I was saying? But anyway, I'll if I go back in a second when I turn the camera off and there was something I was in the middle of saying, I'll add it to the end or whatever. But anyway, I guess that's all for this video, and so anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and like and subscribe and comment down below, do all that stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. I don't know what video it'll be, but I'll do another video eventually, and I need to get on a regular schedule. I don't know when I put I just kind of put my videos out whenever. So anyway, if you like and subscribe and hit the notification button, all that kind of stuff, you can get notified when my new videos are uploaded. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.